In the late 16th century, the scholastic world reached a crossroads. While the authority of St. Thomas Aquinas remained the bedrock of Catholic thought, a new voice emerged from the school of Salamanca, Francisco Suárez, the Doctor Eximius. Beyond their shared commitment to the faith, they disagreed on a point so fundamental that its resolution changes the very structure of the universe, the relationship between essence and existence. Is the fact that you are really different from what you are. Today, we investigate the real distinction. To ensure academic rigor, our methodology follows a comparative ontological analysis. We will examine Aquinas' argument from the intellect and Suarez's critique of extrinsic potentiality. For St. Thomas, in every created being, there is a real distinction. Essence is like a vessel, and existence, the actus essendi, is the act that makes that essence real. Francisco Suárez finds this distinction conceptually redundant. He argues that an essence, once created, is already actual. To be a real human is, by definition, to exist. Suárez seeks to protect the unity of the being. He identifies the thing with its own act of being, avoiding the idea that existence is a separate act added to essence. Why does this matter? Research suggests Suárez's move inadvertently prepared the ground for the cogito, shifting focus from the order of being to the order of knowing. The debate remains open. Whether we follow the angelic doctor or the exalted doctor, we acknowledge that the mystery of being requires our highest intellectual devotion.
For the angelic doctor, the distinction between essence and existence in every created being is not merely logical, but a real distinction. This thesis, masterfully articulated in his early work De Ente et Essentia, constitutes his greatest innovation in relation to pure Aristotelian thought. Aquinas maintains that we can understand what a man or a phoenix is without knowing whether they exist in reality. Therefore, being is not included in the definition of the essence of creatures. If existence were part of the essence of man, all men would be necessary and eternal. But since we are contingent, our being must be something received from outside our essence. The most sublime consequence of this distinction is the oneness of God. In God, and only in Him, essence is existence. God is the pure act of being, while creatures do not are His being, but rather possess it by participation. This structure guarantees the absolute transcendence of the Creator and the radical dependence of the creature. 3 centuries later, Francisco Suárez, the distinguished doctor, reacted against what he considered a reification of being. He denied the real distinction and proposed a distinction of reason grounded in reality. Suárez argued that it is metaphysically impossible to have a real essence that does not exist. For him, a created essence is an actual essence. Suárez sought to protect the unity of the individual. He maintained that in the concrete being, essence and existence are one and the same. In doing so, he shifts the focus of metaphysics from the dynamic act of existing to the objective concept of what a thing is. Etienne Gilson argued that this Suarezian shift functioned as a bridge to modernity. By treating being as a mental representation, Suárez paved the way for Descartes' cogito, certainty sought in the subject. Contemporary transhumanism operates under this shift, viewing the human being as information that can be uploaded. Thomism responds that man is a single substance. Separating essence from the body is not an improvement, but destruction. Thomism insists that logical laws are ontological discoveries. We discover the world is logical through contact with real being. The position of St. Thomas offers a superior safeguard against modern skepticism. By reducing being to a mental concept, modern man encloses himself within his own consciousness. The recovery of the Thomistic real distinction is the only way to restore realism. Recognizing being is independent of thought. Thomism keeps man open to the mystery of creation and to the intimate presence of God in the heart of every being.